We've been under a changing weather pattern here as we've rolled into this week. We were watching temperatures fall as we worked into some cool temperatures into our Tuesday as well as our Wednesday. But we've been gradually making that rebound. But as we've been making that rebound, we've been tracking some storm chances. But the more likely here, more widespread threat is that we're watching is for our Friday, where there is the potential again of some strong to severe storms. Main risk being the potential of wind gusts over 70 miles per hour, as well as very large hail, and a few tornadoes can't be ruled out. Now, after the storm threat, this is our final storm threat for nearly a week, and we will be turning up the heat as high temperatures will be heading quickly into the 90s. Now, it is going to be dry heat. Dew points will be staying into the 30s to 40s. Where out east, they are talking about a very humid forecast. Now, we will talk about the heat sticking around, and with the heat sticking around and that dry heat, that does bring fire weather concerns, as there will be some times of some stronger winds. We'll take a look at that here in a moment, but let's first look at that storm chance we have here for our Friday. We start off the day with some warm sunshine. Our Thursday, we battled a bit of that morning cloud cover, limiting some of that warming and limiting that storm threat. But what we'll see is that it is a bit more likely to keep that morning sunshine, which will increase that storm threat for the afternoon. We'll watch high temperatures just top off into those upper 70s to low 80s, so warm enough to allow for that instability. And really hugging east of the divide, we have a marginal risk to a slight risk that starts there just around Gillette and into Torrington. So really hugging just outside I-25 and in between I-90 to I-80, as we'll note that there's a warm front situated just along I-90 there, and that's where the zone of those storms to be able to ride that warm front with a nice moisture plume lifting in is what we are seeing. So we'll note that though much of the basin areas here running from regions like Rawlins, Casper up through Buffalo is where our zone of storms will spark up. So we see that there's that warming sunshine, and then storms organize and then they carry through that region, and as they carry, they'll carry that potential of some severe storms as well as some efficient rain producers as well. We see that rainfall accumulation could even get over 1/4 of an inch, so good dosing of some moisture in our soils, as we note that much of this area that has a precipitation potential is underneath at least some abnormally dry conditions. So with drought in place, we'll take the moisture we can get, especially knowing that we have a heat wave that will be setting up for next week. So into our Friday, we generally have seasonal temperatures from Yellowstone at 69, Cody at 77, Lander at 75, to Casper just around 81 degrees, Gillette at 75, and Muddy Gap at about 78. Saturday is our first dry day, and this is where the warming will already start to take hold. A few isolated 90s are possible, but we'll note that more of the heat will be felt as we head into our Sunday, as we'll hit 95 degrees. We'll have some times of wind into early next week, which again, that's going to bring some fire weather concern, but we are noting that we will stack up a week's long worth of that heat, as we'll talk about even accumulating a streak of 90s here in Casper.